Let me first take for loops for the numbers. We will do some examples for the numbers, how the for loop iterates over the numbers. Example number 1. For number in 1, 2, 5, print number. Your final output will be 1, 2, 5. Look at here, we have used for loop. This for means for loop. For number in is the belong to operator. In 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 5 are the three numbers. So this for loop will iterate on each and every single number. It will be printed individually in the output. But make sure, don't forget the print function. The print function is the only function where the things will be printed in the output. If you miss the print function, the things will not be printed. Don't forget to put the colons. Put the colons and press the enter button. Your new line of the print function will start from here. So print of number. What is number? Number is just a simple name. You can put for X, you can put for A, you can put for B. It is absolutely up to you. It is just a simple name that you give it. This number shows the items, the individual items inside this set. 1 is the number, 2 is the number, 5 is the number. If you put A here, then A shows the individual numbers. 1 is the A, 2 will be the A, 5 will be the A. It is just a simple name. I repeat it. So I gave number here for number in 1, 2, 5. And then for the print function, you have to put exactly the same thing, the same variable name, number. If you have number here, you have to take the print of number. If you have A here, you have to take the print of A. If you have X here, you have to take the print of X. Whatever name you have here, you have to take the print of exactly the same name. So since I have number here, therefore I took the print of number. When you run it, you will get 1, 2, 5. It is a drop down of these three numbers. So the for loop iterates on each and every single number. First it iterates over 1, and then iterates over 2, and then iterates over 5. So 1, 2, 5. That's how the for loop works. It iterates on each and every single number. So you will see the numbers printed individually in the final output. This is the one way to write the for loop program, but there is a second way to demonstrate the same example, the same problem, but in a different way. So let's check the second method. I'm going to take exactly the same example, example number 1, but this time I will give the name X, which is the variable name. X equals to 1, 2, 5. I took the same numbers. Now for numbers in X, print numbers. You will get exactly the same answer. There is no difference in the output. You will get the same output, but it is just a different way to demonstrate your program. Look at here. This time I gave the variable X. This X is just a variable name. It can be X, it can be Y, it can be B, it can be C. Whatever you want you can give. Or you can also give the numbers, whatever you want. So X is a variable. It equals to 1, 2, 5. Now we used for loop here for number in X. In X, what is X? X is actually this 1, 2, 5. These are the numbers which is represented by the X. So instead to put this whole thing here, we are going to simply put the variable name which is X. Just simply put X here. So it is exactly one thing, because this X shows all this thing from here up to here. This whole set has been demonstrated with the X here now. So we don't need to put it here. Now to take the print of number, because we have number here, if you give the number, if you have number here, you take exactly the same number. If you have B, you have to take the print of B. If you have C, you have to take the print of C. Since we have number here, therefore you have to take the print of number. When you run it, you will get exactly the same answer. So the program will check each and every number. First it iterates over 1, and then over 2, and then over 5. So all the numbers will be printed in the output individually. 1 and then 2 and then 5. Look at here, when you compare it with the previous method, this one we directly put the numbers, the list of the numbers which are 1, 2 and 5. We don't have any name, we don't have any variable for this list. We directly put list here. So we have for number in 1, 2, 5. In the second method, what we do, we just simply give the name x. X is a variable. It is the identifier. It is the name for this list. So when it comes to this line, you simply put x instead of this whole list. Simply put x because x shows this whole list. It is the identification identifier of this whole list. So simply write for number in x. You will get the same output, the same answer and the same output. It is just the different way to demonstrate your program using for loop. Example number 2. For item in 3, 2.5, 7, 1.0, 20, 50, 70, print item, you will get this output 3, 2.5, 7, 1.0, 20, 50, 70. If you remember last time we used number, it is just the name, whether you use number or you write item or you write A or B or C or D, whatever you put, it is just simply the name of these items, the name of this item. So the numbers have been represented now by the item, by the name of the item. So this item is the representation of all these numbers. Item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4 and so on. So instead of numbers, this time I wrote item. It is one thing. The rest of the thing is absolutely the same thing. For item in list. So what this for loop, this for is the for loop. This for loop will iterate on each and every single item in this list. And they will be printed here in the final output. Take the print of item. Remember, whatever name you give here, you simply put it here. If it is number, take the print of number. If it is item, take the print of item. If it is A, take the print of A. Since it is item, therefore I took print of item. Don't forget the print function. The print function will print everything in the output. It is a drop down. It is the drop down of these whole numbers in the list. So the for loop iterates on each and every single item. First it iterates on 3 and show it here in the output. Then it iterates on 2.5 and then at 2.7 and then 1.0 and then 20 and then 50 and then 70. It iterates on each and every single items. They will be shown in the output in the drop-down pattern. So this is the one way to demonstrate your program. You can also use the second method to write this program. What method? You can simply give the name to this whole list, like x equals to this or a equals to this list, and then instead of using this, just simply put that in x or in a, whatever. Just follow exactly the same thing what we did. So you can also use the second method to solve this program. Your output will be exactly the same thing. There won't be any difference in the output.